this is Balalakshmi. Today we are going to see about matter around us. Synopsis, Introduction, Classification of matter, Elements, Metals, Non-metals, Metalloids, Compounds, Difference between elements and compounds, Mixtures, Difference between mixtures and compounds, Types of mixtures, Homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, Separation of mixtures, Sublimation, Conclusion. Introduction. We use the term matter, cover all substances and materials from which the universe is composed. Matter is everything around us. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the pen we write, clouds, stones, plants, animals, a drop of water or a grain of sand, everything is matter. I will give you one video.
So purity is our guarantee. This milk is so pure. This water is very, very pure. Buy it. Everything is sold as being so pure, right? Now, but the word pure is being abused in one sense. So what do we really mean by pure? Or what do scientists mean when they say something is pure? Now that's a question, right? In fact, the name of the chapter itself is matter around us pure? A question for the name of a chapter, right? Isn't that interesting? How many questions do we find as the name of a chapter? In order to answer that question, though, we need to know what matter is first. We know what matter is. So what's the second thing we need to know to answer this question? Is matter around us pure? What do we mean by pure? Right? Without knowing what we mean by pure, how can we say whether something is pure or not pure? Is something pure if it looks very smooth? And if you take milk, it looks pretty clean, pretty pure, right? It looks white all over. It looks pretty pure. So, but does that mean that milk is pure in the sense of science? What do we need to know to answer that? What do we mean by pure? So then, what scientists mean when they say pure is that if you take that substance and if you put it somewhere, we know that it's made up of many, many, many small particles, right? Really tiny ones. So what it means is that if you pick a particle from any corner of the substance and some other corner you pick a random particle, these two will be identical. And no matter how many ever times you do this, no matter which particle you choose to pick, because all these are going to be made up of small particles. In other words, if you have ever played in what's called a playpen, these large number of balls that are there, you get to jump inside. It's all plastic balls. Yeah, you're allowed to go on it when you were a kid, and then after a while you grow too tall and they don't send you inside. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? There's a little net around. So what is that? What makes up that entire place? A large number of little balls, right? Now, if all the balls were the same color, identical, then would it matter which place you put your hand inside and pick the ball? If they were all red, right? If there were a large number of red balls making up this place, you could put your hand anywhere, close your eyes and pick one, and you could be 100% sure that it's going to be a red colored ball. Now, if that is true, that if those kind of particles, identical ones, make up the substance, then it's called pure. Makes some kind of sense, doesn't it? Then what is impure? It would obviously be that some of the balls are not identical, right? So there are a large number of red balls, you insert some blue balls inside, then, or some green balls inside, yellow balls, some other kind of substance, some other kind of particle kind of infiltrates this, enters this, then it's impure. So what do we mean by pure? Every single particle that makes up the substance is the same, is identical.
Examples to show matter has mass. Examples to show matter. Classification of matter. Broadly speaking, it has been classified into pure substance and mixtures. From the point of view of chemistry, pure substances are those which contain only one kind of particles, whereas impure substance mixtures contain more than one kind of particles. Elements. Most of you may be interested in music, and some of you may know how it's composed. Music is the combination of few basic musical notes, sa, re, ga. Thus, the building blocks of music are the musical notes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Likewise, all substances on earth are made up of certain simple substances called elements. Plants, cats, apples, rocks, cars, and even our bodies contain elements. Thus, elements are the building blocks of all materials. Metals. Iron, silver, gold. Non-metals. Carbon, sulfur, lead, phosphorus. Metalloids. silicon, boron, antimony, germanium. When two or more elements combine chemically to form a new substance, the new substance is called a compound. For example, cane sugar is made up of three elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. The chemical formula of cane sugar is C12H22O11. Difference between elements and compounds: made up of only one kind of atom, made up of more than kind of atom. The smallest particle that retain all its properties is an atom. The smallest particle that remains all its properties is the molecule. Cannot be broken down into simpler substance. Can be broken down into elements by chemical methods. Mixtures. A mixture is an impure substance. It contains two or more kind of elements or both physically mixed in any ratio. For example, lemonade is a mixture of lemon juice, sugar and water. Difference between mixtures and compounds: it contains two or more substance. It is a single substance. The constituent may be present in any proportion. Its constituent may be present in any proportions. They show the properties of their constituents. They do not show the properties of the constituent elements. The components may be separated easily by physical methods. The constituents can only be separated by one or more chemical reactions. Types of mixtures: homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, true solutions, alloys. Heterogeneous, suspension, colloids. Homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. A mixture is mixture in which the components cannot be seen separately is called a homogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. A mixture in which the components can be seen separately is called a heterogeneous mixture. Separation of mixtures. Many mixtures contain useful substances mixed with unwanted material. In order to obtain these useful substances, chemists often have to separate them from the impurities. Sublimation. Conclusion. Depending upon the chemical composition, matter is classified into elements, compounds and mixtures. Elements and compounds are considered to be pure substance as they contain only one kind of particles, whereas mixtures contain more than one type of particles and they are considered as impure substances. In a homogeneous mixture, true solution, the components are uniformly mixed and it will have single phase. Heterogeneous mixture are not mixed thoroughly or ununiformly and it will have more than single phase. Thank you.